Fender and a Gibson, Aaron Rodgers and me.
Hello, Aaron.
Hello.
I'm Andres. I will be your translator. How are you? And man, it's really an honor to have you here. I let you with Jhon.
Great. It's my pleasure. Thank you guys for having me.
Oh, pleasure is ours, man. Jhon, comienza.
Bueno, Aaron, gracias por estar en el canal. Yo sé que hubo momentos en los que casi no sea, pero por fin se dio. Yo quisiera iniciar preguntándole, primero le pregunto siempre a los cantantes que son bastante de peso y es, ¿cómo ha sido la evolución musical que tú has tenido sobre el género country, sobre todo el género de los instrumentos que has tocado desde que iniciaste hasta la actualidad? ¿Qué cualidades has aprendido y cómo las ha influido en su vida?
Like a wrap, but it's great to have you finally here. We thought that this interview we're not going to make it. And Jhon asked will ask the same thing that he asked to the musicians. How do you see the evolution of your career, going back from the beginning and learning all the instruments, but also seeing your evolution as the genre that you play, the country, is evolving through the years?
Well, country music has definitely changed tremendously through the years. It's almost not even country anymore. There's a lot more rock aspect to it, and even pop. But to go back to your first question, I didn't really start getting involved in playing with groups or with other people until I was like 18 years old, and but I took it and ran with it. Then that was I knew the first show I ever played that's what I wanted to do, and so I've been doing that ever since and haven't looked back. But so it's been a kind of a crazy trip, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. A lot of great experiences. I've met a lot of incredible people along the way, so it's been a great experience. What was the rest of the question? The other part of the question, I've already forgotten.
No, I think you answered it right. I will translate it to my friend. And man, we know that you're excited, so thank you so much for being here.
You.
We know that you were playing. Okay, Jhon. Bueno, él al final pregunta si él respondió bien, cuál es la segunda parte de la pregunta. Él dice que el country, porque le pregunté sobre evolución, pero a la vez que evoluciona el género, dice que ya el country en realidad no es country, hay muchas fusiones, pero él dice que no cambia por nada lo que comenzó, o sea, su viaje en este género que empezó a los 18 años, tocando en vivo. A los 18 años fue que comenzó incluso con estas colaboraciones que ha tenido con varios artistas que espero tú los toques ahorita porque son increíbles. Y pues yo creo que él respondió ahí bien la primera pregunta, ¿cierto?
Claro,
bien, yo
bien.
Obviamente le agradecí por estar acá a pesar de la agenda que tuvo.
Quisiera preguntarle, porque yo sé que él ha tocado casi la mayoría de los instrumentos, guitarra, dobro, piano, el keyboard, que para mí en el country es muy, muy complicado seguir. El Hammond, la armónica, el bronce. Entonces yo quisiera preguntarte sobre cuál es el instrumento o qué partitura es la más importante para un momento especial, de pronto en un lugar que se toque, y cuál es ese significado que transmite él en cada escenario.
Acá la pregunta es complicada porque estás preguntando por partituras, por escenario, así que lo voy a transmitir más bien a con qué instrumento él se siente más conectado en un escenario. Okay, this was a very tricky question from Jhon, so I will try to translate it well. Being a multi-instrumentalist, playing a lot of instruments that we feel that are very complicated, which one you feel the most connected? Yes, I know that you put your heart in every instrument that you play, but we as the one, in fact, just was asking even from partitures. I mean, that's crazy because I mean, but I think that he's asking you about the connection that you got with the instruments. What is the one that you feel more connected as a musician?
It's definitely electric guitar. That was my second instrument. My first instrument was piano, but the electric guitar is definitely my go-to instrument, and that's what I, as far as getting jobs, hired for work, it's always electric guitar for the most part, even though I'm playing bass for an artist right now too, though. So but yeah, definitely guitar.
Jhon dice que definitivamente la guitarra eléctrica fue su segundo instrumento, el primero que aprendió fue piano, y dice que incluso ha sido complejo obtener los trabajos porque ahorita está tocando, es bajo para un artista, pero dice que sí, definitivamente la guitarra eléctrica, hombre.
Wow. Bueno, yo quiero preguntarte sobre las colaboraciones que has hecho. Yo creo que, ¿sabes? Yo te empecé a escuchar y se me dio la tarea por investigar más. O sea, tú siempre estás como apoyando la música de Gran Convoy, el Convoy, el Billy, Don Boris. Entonces yo quisiera preguntarte sobre cómo fue esa química en el que el country desde la vieja escuela se une, por ejemplo, a lo que es las nuevas fusiones, cómo recibe el público cada vez que estás en los escenarios para que sea algo único.
Okay, the question here from Jhon is knowing that you have collaborated with a lot of artists, and the one that he's asking now is Billy Don Burns.
Yeah.
How do you, how this working with these people that, and in fact, I am so surprised because before this interview, I was asking to my fellow musicians here in Colombia, and they recognize your work and they recognize countries. So it's great because it is spread from all over the world. And how this fusion, or how is the world to get that the new generations like embrace? They are from the old timers, and with these collaborations with these words. Because Jhon started to listen to you with Billy Don Burns, and then he kept checking for your career, the rest of your career.
Okay, yeah, well, Billy Don Burns we've become very close friends. The first record I produced for him was in 2012. It's called Nights When I'm Sober, A Portrait of a Honky Tonk Singer. Billy is, he's definitely from an older generation of country music legends. Really, he was friends with Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings and Johnny Cash and that group, Chris Christopherson. Billy never became a household name like they did, but they were definitely friends and collaborators. As a matter of fact, when the second record I produced on Billy in 2015, he actually went to prison during that time, so we had to stop the record. But Willie Nelson wrote a letter to the judge on Billy Don's behalf to get him out of jail early. So that tells you how good of friends they are. But it's really interesting to see how the younger generation embraces the older music, and most of Billy Don's biggest fans are actually in the punk genre, like punk rock genre. It's really strange where his fan base is the strongest, but he's definitely an underground legend of sorts. It's been a real pleasure to work with him on 2 albums.
Jhon, es que esto es increíble porque, bueno, tú sabes muy bien que Aaron produjo sus álbumes, bueno, produjo uno en el 2012 y otro en el 2015. Dice que lo de Billy es increíble porque él sigue siendo un artista underground y tú diste los amigos que él tiene, ¿no? Más, hay una historia acá que te la tengo que traducir porque es perfecta para el canal. Cuando produjo el segundo álbum, en ese momento Billy pues fue llevado a prisión. Y dice que Willie Nelson pagó y ayudó para que lo sacaran y pues pudiera pues continuar con el trabajo de este álbum, porque eso prueba los amigos que tiene. Y lo más increíble es que dice Aaron que la gran base de fans que tiene Billy son gente que escucha pop, la música pop, que dice que eso prueba, bueno, ¿no? Pues, que es extraño para él. Pues, yo asumo muy bien porque, pues, de hecho me fascina el country. Le dije que incluso amigos de Colombia, músicos, pues, les gusta, que estamos hablando ahorita con Aaron, que ya el country, pues, hace rato rebasó las fronteras, pero, pues, imagínate esa anécdota, o sea, yo que impactadísimo con esa anécdota, que es propia, obviamente, un artista de ese calibre, ¿no?
Es que es increíble. Además, Aaron es una de las personas en el que yo creo que allá en cada concierto que él hace siempre retumba el nombre. O sea, es como casi se está convirtiendo en un mito de la parte interna, porque yo también vengo a hablar de un disco del CD del mismo nombre, que tú me lo dirás, pues traducción. Lo más importante e increíble es que es como un homenaje casi a lo que ha hecho tu carrera, y pues obviamente se reconoce el gran valor que ustedes dos tienen como músicos. Entonces yo quería saber cuál es el impacto tan grande en el que no solo personas de tu país, sino en Colombia y partes de Latinoamérica escuchan este tema, sabiendo de que el country, bueno, en muchos países no sea el fuerte, pero sí retumba más en tu nombre.
And it's great, Aaron, because Jhon got a question from this album that you also produce, and you told us before about it that it's nice when I'm sober.
Mm-hmm.
And the question is, before I'm so excited that, Jhon, la pregunta es esto, ¿cómo ha recibido la gente esta canción en especial? Okay, the question is not only about the album, sorry, but about the song of the same name. And yes, how do you feel like the reception that this album and this song in particular is having, not only in your country, but around the world? And in fact, I'm right with Jhon. This is creating like the mythos of your career, not only as a producer, but as a musician. And this is one of the songs that really stand out, man. So tell us more about this album and this song in particular.
Okay. Well, I think that I would credit that record, that album, to being the event that really solidified my place as a producer in the Americana genre. And you know, it the little record did pretty good. It was we won some awards and got a Grammy nomination. We didn't win, but we got a nomination. And you know, it really launched my career into as a producer into overdrive. Therefore, that record carried me for probably the next 10 years. I guess really it's still, you know, I get a lot of calls, a lot of work from people who like that record, from different artists who are familiar with it. And the first time I played the Grand Ole Opry was because of that record. We Billy, Don, and I played it together on April 26th of 2013, I think. Yeah, 2013. It was about a year after the record was released. And that was, yeah, it's just done. it surprised me. It still surprises me. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's a great record, and Billy Don's a great writer and a great artist, and but it just continues to keep, generating, more and more fans. It's really kind of stood the test of time, because it's been 10 years now, and I still get, run into people everywhere who know the record. So it's really interesting how long that it's kind of, held its place. I'd like for it to go another 50 years, it'd be great.
Jhon, yendo al grano, con este álbum se logró nominación al Grammy. Con este álbum él logró un en vivo importantísimo en abril 26 del año posterior del 2013, y es un álbum que para él siempre hace implicar mucho.
Bueno, para aprovechar esta gran reunión, yo quisiera preguntarte, Aaron, hay una anécdota de un fanático que me causa gracia porque, ven, te la cuento como dice, el chico se llama Jesse Johnson, en el que él escribió en un video que tú realizaste junto con Billy, que es en Light Capital, en el año 2016, en el White Blues. Entonces, es gracioso porque él dijo, yo apenas lo vi, yo dije, este se me parece conocido, voy a tomarme una foto con él. Y resulta que cuando se tomó la foto, supo que eras tú, dijo, wow, mire, amigos, me tomé una foto con Aaron Rodgers. Qué alegría. Entonces quisiera saber cómo conectas su música con los fans y qué experiencia recuerdas de ese live junto con Billy.
This is a crazy anecdote and a really beautiful anecdote that Jhon read one of your social media. It's about a man called Jesse Johnson. He watched the live, and in fact, he said, I would like to hear about your experience at live at Capital City in YD Blue, because he reached to you and take a picture, but it was crazy because he later find out that the person that he was taking the picture, it was you, and he wrote to the friends, oh my God, I just take a picture with Aaron Rodgers, and I really love his show. So the question is, yes, how do you connect with your fans, man? And not only with your fans, but with the memories that they get from the shows. I mean, if you can tell about that show that live at Capital City, man, it will be great. At the Whitey Blue.
Okay, well, gosh, I've done so many shows. In fact, I'm playing again every day in Nashville downtown on Broadway. Back doing that again after like a 10-year hiatus, but just because I was doing more producing and stuff over the last 10 years. But it's hard for me to say fans, that to think that I have fans. That's really I don't really think of myself in any kind of light like that. I'm just a guy who's I'm glad to be here. I've had some good breaks and but I love people, and I love people to see people have fun and enjoy the music. There's a lot of songs that I grew up with that really mean something to me. They remind me of a place or time in my life, and to know that something that I've been a part of, a song or an album that I've been a part of, that that means that to someone else is a great feeling. That's one of the reasons I love producing and making records. It's certainly not for fame or notoriety, but it's to it's nice to think that I can leave something behind, you know, that'll be there after I'm gone, you know, that people can still enjoy, or that will mean something. And that's another reason why I love producing, is because I don't have to be in the spotlight. You know, I can help other people who like the spotlight. And you know, I can kind of be behind the scenes, because I just I don't really you know, I'm sort of a private person, I guess, you'd say. I never wanted to be up front and center by any means.
Wow.
But I do love when connecting with people who, you know, at shows and things, that and when they, you know, I mean, who wouldn't, you know, when you create something that can move somebody or mean something to somebody, or you know, make a positive difference for them, you know, who wouldn't love that? Really, that's the greatest part of what I do, you know.
Wow, man, that was beautiful. And I will translate faster because John got the last question.
Okay.
John dice que él ha tocado muchas veces en Nashville. Él dice que la razón por la que es productor es porque él nunca analizó esta, digamos, como esta cuestión de los fans, pero él dice que para él ser productor y saber que ha tocado a mucha gente con su música, pues vale mucho más, solo que pues él dice que nunca hizo esto para, pues por la fama y esa cuestión, y la cuestión de ser productor es también pues para mostrar la obra, pero pues a mí me parece una respuesta muy, muy, muy bella. Solo que él dice que no recuerda esa anécdota tan especial porque la ha tocado muchas veces, y afortunadamente después de la pandemia él siguió tocando en este escenario, que es uno de los más importantes de Nashville, ¿no? Y tú sabes la importancia de Nashville para el country.
Bueno, vamos con la pregunta faster, y es: definan una palabra estas tres grandes melodías. Y hombre, yo no sé por qué nadie te ha sacado documental, pero el día que yo haya a Estados Unidos junto con usted, con el equipo del canal, seremos los primeros en hacer el documental.
Wow, this is great. Before I made this final question, John said something that I feel is amazing. He says that for he is unbelievable that nobody, and you can correct us if we are wrong, that nobody has made you like a documentary, man. But John felt that it somehow will travel to the US. You gave us that honor, man. But I know that with this interview, John will make, and in fact, I will tell him that he made like a really beautiful homage o montage. But John, le estoy diciendo que obviamente espero que cuando edites esta entrevista hagas un hermoso homenaje, un montaje. And the last question is, define in one word these words, man. Going Down Rocking, Graveyard in Montgomery, Laila, You Love Me. These three words, define it in one word, man.
Those are, so define all of those in one word, or each one in one word? Okay, all of those in one word.
If you want everyone in one word, go ahead. But if you got a word from all of them, man, go ahead. I'm so moved by what the answer that you say, and that the things that Jhon saying, because man, believe me, he was like, man, I can't believe it. We're going to interview him. And no, man, go ahead. And
okay. Well, thank you. You know, I'm really humbled by your appreciation for, and it's really my pleasure to be a part of your journey, really. And if I could put those together in one word, it's hard to put in one word, but I'm just glad to be a part of all of those. You know, I'm glad I had a hand in such great music. You know, I hope they'll continue. I hope, you know, to continue to do it. I know that's not one word, but
we can call it pride.
Well, you know, okay, how about I'm honored.
Honored.
Yeah, I'm really honored to be a part of such of other people's music like that, to have to be a part of that, to have you know, some sort of hand in all of that. It's just been great.
And what I love about these words is that same means the same and sounds the same in English and Spanish, man. So I don't need to translate. Jhon,
All
honor.
right.
Honor, y más el honor de él lo dice, de saber que hace parte, y repito, de la obra de estos grandes. O sea, porque Jhon, te lo voy a decir, estás hablando con uno de los productores más grandes, no solo músico, uno de los productores más grandes. Y te tengo que felicitar. Él dice que para él es un honor y se siente muy honrado de saber que, pues, que hacemos parte del viaje nuestro, lo dice. Él no está hablando del viaje de él, sino el viaje nuestro.
Vamos a...
Increíble. ¡Bravo!
Bueno,
Thank you.
vamos a tomar la foto. Entonces,
Man, Aaron, we are going to take a picture so we can share to the social media. We know that you're tired, but go ahead, man. We got the final minutes, man. The camera is yours. Send a bit high to Colombia, to wherever you want. Say the social media so people can follow you. So you want to talk about a project that people should get an eye and your song. Go ahead, man. For us, it was beautiful, really beautiful, man. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure. Hello, Colombia. Thank you for watching. It's a real pleasure to be here. If I could recommend anything, it would be to watch for Chad Wilson. He's an artist I'm producing. We got a new record coming out this year. The first single has been released to iTunes and Apple Music and, of course, YouTube. It's called Lie Like You Love Me. There's video already done. It should be up on all of those platforms. Yeah, and just, keep rocking. Thank you.
In fact, Jhon showed me that video here. Jhon, ya sabes de qué video habló, ¿no? Tú me lo pasaste, el de Chad Wilson. Lie Like You Love Me. Dice que estén pendientes de eso porque sale en todas las redes. Es un artista que está recomendando y que sigamos rockeando. No, man, keep rocking, sigue rockeando, man. Like we say in Spanish.
oh man,
Thank you so much, man.
Aaron,
Thank you.
muchas gracias
Jhon.
por esta oportunidad. God bless you y bueno, miles de éxitos.
Thank you
Aaron,
so
thank
much.
you for the opportunity. God bless you. Dios te bendiga, like we say in Spanish. And no, thank you for the opportunity, man.
Oh, thank you so much. I hope to see you guys soon.
Yes. Bye bye.
Goodbye.